Okay, I thought I'd just make a quick video of this bit because it's quite important, and if I don't video it, nobody will know. Essentially, this little amplifier, it's sort of like a cast aluminium casing. It's pretty good actually, very good thermal on it, and it's mounted really well inside. However, it's not flat, and when I put it onto the heatsink, which is just here, this is my heatsink, and it's quite a nice heatsink. I got this on Amazon. It was $19, which is really a bargain. I think the Chinese seller didn't really know what they were selling, so I'm quite happy with that. To actually get all this aligned, a couple of tools, and I'll show you the tools in a second. Let me just grab them. Quite interesting.
A picture is worth 1,000 words, as they say, so you can see all the bits and pieces that we need. Hope that helps.
Right. Essentially, a punch. Punch is very important. If you don't have the punch, when you do the drill, it's going to be very difficult to, your drill bit's going to go all over the place. So here's the drill bit. It's a tapping set. You've got this is a 4mm tap set. So essentially this is a tap, obviously. I got it at Bunnings. I think it's about $7. It comes together with the drill bit. Okay, so essentially get some calipers. Very handy little tool. Okay, I don't use the digital bit. Essentially what you've got to do, just basically center it. That's all you have to do. Measurements aren't important. With this tool you can actually work out the distances and basically make sure that the 4 holes match these spacings here on the amplifier. So essentially it's pretty simple maths. You can just work it out, and once it's all aligned and you've got the rough position of it, what you've got to do then is where is it? Bear with me again. Okay, here we go again. One of these little things, really important. Again, a Bunnings thing. It's essentially a pen, a marker pen, but this is a marker pen with a very long needle, a needle tip. So essentially, if I show you, you can actually make spots like that. So the idea is, when it's all aligned, you can just basically put that in there and just circle the sort of thing here, and you get sort of 4 markers, right? I'm not going to touch the heatsink now, but the idea is that if you've got a dot like that, and you've got a hard surface, and you basically put a drill on there, it's just going to go all over the place like that, and it's not going to make a very detailed hole. So the idea is, you get this punch, you put it in the center bit, like that, and by pressing it, I'm not going to do it, but it just goes bang, and you've got a nice little hole there, a little marker, and the drill sits in that, and it's centered. So essentially that's what happened with that. That was the drill. You can still see a bit of oil. I actually used a little bit of WD-40 just to lubricate the drill bit, otherwise you're just going to blunt the drill bit. There's quite a lot of friction going on, but with the oil it's quite good, and it cuts it quite well. So essentially you don't have to go very deep. It's only, what is it, about 6 or 7 millimeters, about 6 or 7 millimeters, and just as soon as it hits the sort of the fin area, you stop. And once you do that, you then use the tap and create a thread. So you can probably see the thread there. Where is it? just there. You can just see the threads. Okay, and this is an M4 thread, so these little screws go in there quite well. Okay, so that's how the heatsink's done, and if it's aligned, it's really good. This is the second lesson that I learned. First lesson, didn't use all these tools, basically mucked it up. Nothing to do with this. It was another amplifier that is currently in use, but you know, it was recoverable. But this is all nice and shiny black, as they say. So I want it to be right. But when I put that on, I noticed you could get light going through that little gap, which means that it's not flat. The machining or the extrusion of this aluminium heatsink, it's pretty flat. So by putting that on very fine sandpaper, you can see it's not flat. And what did I use? I've got P400, and I've also got a well, that's a P400 as well. I've got a P1000, well, P1200, really fine. And you can put a little bit of water on it, but at the moment I just want to get the basic stuff going. And to do that, you just basically slowly just move it round and round like that, you know, just like that. And it will just take a little bit, just flatten it. As soon as I get that whole area shining across, that means it's flat. So you could see the high areas. So I'm just going to continue that until it's done, and then I'm going to show you guys how it looks. Okay, we're back. All right, so look, I did have a good sandpaper on amplifier, the aluminium casing. As you can see, it's all flat now, or as much as it can be. I'm quite lucky. I've got these porcelain tiles, and they're very, very flat. The whole thing is very, very smooth. So that was my base. If you're going to be doing the sanding and try to flatten the surface, you've got to really have a flat surface. So don't do it on a carpet, don't do it on a table. You've got to have something really solid, like a porcelain tile or something like that, because these are sort of like float tiles, so they're very, very flat. So what do we got? The tools, calipers, M4 set of screws, nuts and bolts. They are 10 millimeters. This is thermal paste, and it's a silver thermal paste. It's quite expensive. I think this thing's about $10 or more, but it's very good. You only need 1 drop of it. Obviously the heatsink, I will post a link on that heatsink if it's still available on Amazon. It's a pretty good heatsink. Okay, a set of carbon tips drill tap set, M4 again. So I've got 2 of those because I have a habit of breaking them, but fortunately this time I didn't break it. So that's the drill that comes with it, and that's the actual tapping bit. Now you would also need one of these devices, which is a hand tapping tool, or essentially, you know, you can't stick that on a drill bit. Okay, so you got to use one of these hand devices. You fit it in there and you just slowly turn it and tap it by hand. And a center punch, this auto center punch, again, that was in Bunnings, not very expensive, and a marker pen. Okay, so you obviously need an amplifier as well. AliExpress, I can post a link on that as well. So that's basically it. That's the sort of components. Obviously I'm not gonna, since I've got limited hands at the moment, I'm going to put a dab of this thermal paste, and that's just going to go flat on this, and then we're just going to screw the screws in, and that's it. That is the amplifier heatsink.
That's all, folks. I hope this video was useful, and until we meet next time, stay safe and stay curious.
you.